Hello, Facebook. How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have been having an amazing day. So happy Thursday. It's been a crazy week. It has been a crazy week for me, but all good things, all good things. So y'all come in, share the live. Carlton will be joining me. I meant to tag him. Let me go ahead and tag him. So this is our Thursday night time with Carlton and I. Last week we were off because I was on vacation. I was refueling, replenishing. So hey y'all, I was replenishing last week, refueling. So I just took some time off, and that's the whole word. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you just need to take time off to yourself, take time just to kind of, do your own thing. So y'all come in, share the live. I know it's going to be a blessing. I know that God's going to show up because he got to, because I told him already, like, just decrease me, increase you, because sis is tired. So I'm not even at a state where I can even try to hijack whatever it is he want to say. So I know it's going to be amazing tonight. So anyhow, I hope you guys have been enjoying the app and enjoying the lives that we've been doing, Carlton and I, and hopefully you have already pre-ordered your book. I dropped the link in the topic section that says Vulnerability, the Art of Letting Go. So if you have not pre-ordered my third book, you need to get it. Like, I don't even know what you're doing. You need to get it. It's an amazing book. Taken me 2 years to write. Yes, I'm still living it. So I live it publicly in the blogs right now. So if you're looking at, or if you've looked at my blogs, Naked and Ashamed, that is my current vulnerability. So I let you guys in, So definitely make sure that if you have not pre-ordered the book, hey Alexis, if you've not pre-ordered the book, that you go ahead and pre-order the book. I dropped the link for the pre-order for the ebook if you want to get it off of Amazon, or if you want to get the hard copy as well. Hey Miss Brenda, get the hard copy as well. Make sure y'all tag your friends in this live. They're gonna need to see it. But I did make sure to drop the link for that. So thank you guys so much for your support, for your love. Y'all have just been amazing. Like, the messages that I get from people, even still who are still buying Purposeful Pain, and just the way that book has just taken off in its own life, it's been absolutely amazing. So I am just humble, and so grateful that you guys just receive me, because I'm not a perfect person, and I never really I didn't start this because I wanted to be. I started this, I guess you could say, ministry, because I wanted people to really understand and really have somebody to go through the process with, because becoming is a process. It's not an overnight thing. It is a process. Healing is a process. Vulnerability is definitely a process. Waiting on God is like a whole different kind of process. And in this season, that is where I am. So, I have not arrived, but I'm on my way. And so that's kind of how I got to this point in my life. And so anyway, I am super excited about Carlton and I's topic tonight. What is it? Oh, it's cuffing season. So we just trying to figure out, hey, Chris, we're just trying to figure out, it's cuffing season, are you searching in the lost and found? And so one thing that I really enjoy about working with Carlton and our energy is that we never, ever discuss the topic. So like, we'll come up with our title and then that's it. So we never discuss it. So like, when you guys get to be a part of it, that's the first time of us talking about it. So I don't always know like what his feeling is around it, what his standpoint is around it. And I like that because I always wanted my platform to be very authentic. And I think that in this season, that's what people are looking for. They're looking for authentic people that are authentically trying to grow and become better. Hey, Raymond. That's one of the things I really enjoy about my time with him is that you guys truly do see it first. We don't do there's like no pre-plan whatsoever other than, hey, I want to do this title and let's just run it. And that's that. Hey, Raymond. Hey. So if you guys have not connected with me, if you've not downloaded the app, the link that I dropped has the link for the app. I do have an app out. It's called the Purpose app. Hey, Martha. It's called the Purpose app. Very encouraging app. And so that's kind of where I get to kind of put all my love out onto you guys. So definitely, if you don't have the app, get it. It's in Android and iPhone. The link is there as well. And then also on that link, hey Gina, on the link, there's also links for my other books as well. Purposeful Pain, which was my first book, and it went bestseller. And then my second book, Intimacy. And then, of course, you can pre-order the third book, Vulnerability, Art of Letting Go, on there as well. You can also book a coaching session. So if you are interested in a consultation and to just kind of learn more about taking yourself to the next level, and really, really, really going after your purpose and operating in who God has called you to be. Or if you're, already in your purpose, but you're still needing some consulting help around strategies, around how to put out certain products and marketing and things of that nature, I can literally coach anything. I'm certified to coach life and business. And I have an MBA. I have a master's in banking as well, with over 10 years of banking experience. So a girl know her numbers. I know how to finance everything. So I'm a big book of knowledge. And that's my purpose, is to help people find theirs and maximize it. So I made sure to drop that link. So when you click on it, you can see all the different ways to connect to me, all the different ways to be able to reach out to me, and for us to just start doing the work, because this is the season to start doing the work. So I'm definitely excited about some of the new things that I've got coming. I've got some up and coming new collaborations that is going to be coming up for November. I can't believe October is nearly done. So November, we've got some new collaborations that I am excited about as well. So I cannot wait to introduce to you guys another extension of my family. So that's going to be awesome. Hey, Tanya, y'all come in, share the live, come on in. Carlton's on his way. I already texted him, was like, you ready? That's all he get. You ready? You ready, ho? That's all he gets. So I know he'll be here in a second, but anyway, on the link, there's all kind of different ways to connect to me. I'm always doing something. My life is an open book. And I like it that way. It doesn't faze me. It doesn't bother me. And I get to operate in vulnerability with you guys. So, hopefully I'm doing a good job. But the topic tonight kind of came from, I've been watching this series. So if you have the app, then you've been watching it with me. But Pastor Jerry Flowers, who's out of Houston, he's doing a series right now on cuffing season. And it's really funny because, at this time of year is typically when you see people, the millennial age, I guess you can say, we call this season cuffing season because this is around the time people like to get booed up. And so anyway, he's doing a series, and I've been pushing it out on the app, and it's all around relationships and properly, connecting to people, purposely connecting to people, and then also understanding how to cut distractions. And so came from me watching that and telling Carlton, we need to talk about, are you in the Lost? where you, sir? Wait, because I know, Carlton then got out. He cash app ready. Believe that.
Cash app.
He was, as soon as I told him the topic, and he was like, I can't wait another week. I wish we go live right now.
I know that exactly. That's how I feel about this one.
Hey, Andrea. Carlton, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
Let me jump off.
That's fine.
Okay.
So anyway, something's wrong with his sound, so he's gonna hop off and hop back on. But that's kind of where that topic came from, was, where we searching at. And so I don't know where God gonna lead us at, honestly. You're gonna see submissiveness like you've never seen it before tonight. Because I really do not know where he's gonna lead us with this topic and this conversation, but I do know that there is value in the lost and found. So, we just want to know where you shopping at, what you got going on, because it's cuffing season, and people be trying to talk to you. You get distractions come back in this season. People you ain't talked to in I don't know how long. They're trying to see, happy holiday and what you got planned and all this kind of stuff. And typically, so for those of you who have never heard of cuffing season typically starts around this time, so like October, mid-October, and lasts up until Valentine's, so February. So because after February, you start getting back into spring, and Drew, I'm already coming for your head, so you're not gonna sit on the line. So this is the time of the year that people get cuffed up. Carlton, can you say something?
I'm here. No?
I still can't
hear. Oh my God.
Can y'all hear Carlton? Andrew,
can you hear
Carlton if he says something?
I heard it on the last recording.
Because I know, is your volume up on your phone?
Yeah, my volume is up. Unless I switch my headphones. Andrea says she can hear me.
So, Andrea, you can hear Carlton? Say, I can't hear you. Oh, this about to be a whole thing over here.
Oh, man.
Andrea says she can hear you. I can't hear you.
But I can hear you.
And let me try to get my AirPods and see if that works. Hold on. See, this one I know is about to be good when we start having like
right. Exactly. Right.
So, hold on. Carlton?
Yes.
Okay, so let me make you laugh. So I was getting dressed, talking to Jocelyn, because we don't hardly ever get to talk. So I was talking to Jocelyn,
right.
had my AirPod in, and left it on the counter. So my air. So
wow, that's crazy.
So when I went to go get it, I was like, in the cat, I was like,
you gotta love technology. You gotta love technology.
Got to. So anyhow, hey y'all, hey Sharina. So y'all share the live. It's gonna be good. Because Carlton been dying to talk since last 2 weeks ago. Soon as he realized.
Soon as we came up with the title, I was like, yeah, I'm ready.
So I'm gonna let you start off first, because I'm submitting tonight. I done submitted to God and everything. I'm sis is tired between me changing them time zones and and then I'm about to be traveling out again tomorrow.
Oh man.
Oh, your girl.
Yeah, I know you on what's this on the Lauren on the Run tour.
That's like and that's gonna be my schedule to like end of the year. I have something.
Oh man, I'm slightly jealous.
Oh, Well, I'm sorry.
It's all good. The weather in Pittsburgh has been decent, so
Okay.
we're good.
Well,
We're
good. Well,
good.
good.
We're
So
good.
I want you to go ahead and start. I'm really anxious to see what you're gonna say about this.
Yeah, it was funny because so tonight's theme is cuffing season,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, and I know you added the aspects of lost and found.
Correct.
So when I think about cuffing
Hmm.
season, right? So what is cuffing season?
So cuffing season is the time, like this time of year. So like mid
Mm-hmm.
October until about February
Mm-hmm.
14th
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is when people tend to get in relationships or situations,
Yeah.
entertaining somebody. It's the holidays, it's cold. So people start just connecting to folk, for all kind of reasons, right? Because this is a time of year where, it's getting colder, you
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
up, you want to
Right.
food up,
Mm-hmm.
holiday time. Oh, hey, Rob. Oh, Rob is on here. Rob is the one I got Yosemite from. Uh,
Oh, okay. Shout out to Rob.
yeah. So, what else? Oh, so this is like that time of year that people typically like to get in a situation, right? Now,
Right.
they want to be out because gift giving time is between Christmas and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Valentine's, right? So after Valentine's, typically those relationships that were just really cuffing relationships are typically over by like
Right. Mm-hmm.
March time, because March is like the springtime, honey. You about to start
Yeah. Yeah.
clothes, and you about to start trying to be flued out. You about to be trying to be on somebody beach in a two-piece, and
Right. Right.
it takes you in the hot boy hot girl time, right?
So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
so typically, Andrea here laugh. Andrea, don't laugh. That's the truth. So typically, people like to get entangled this time of year.
Right. So that's what cuffing season is.
Yes.
So here's the key about cuffing season. Often there is a tryout,
mm,
right? So someone is trying out, but here's the thing, they are trying out for a position.
come on.
So if they're trying out for a position, they're going to do whatever it takes to get that position.
Correct.
So whatever that person is seeking in cuffing season, that gives an opportunity for someone to come in and play that role. So
Right.
again, the key thing is they're playing that role. So again, we talked about a couple weeks ago, project or partner.
Mm-hmm.
We got people playing the position of partner because that's what you're seeking in
Correct.
that season,
Come on.
right? So we got to be mindful that the enemy, his goal is to kill, steal, and destroy.
Correct.
So the enemy hears your prayers. So sometimes the enemy preys on what you're praying for.
Correct.
So if the enemy knows that you are participating in cuffing season and you're looking for a certain type of man or a certain type of woman, you'll be surprised that that person will show up right during cuffing season, right? They're looking
Right.
like everything that you pray for,
Correct.
but you got to be mindful in cuffing season, people are playing or literally applying or trying out for a position, just like with football. I'm trying out to be, if you're looking for a wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm going to show up and say I'm the best wide receiver.
Correct.
Even though I'm not, even though my position might be a running back, my position might be something different. But the fact that you're looking for someone to fill a position, because that's what
Yes.
cuffing season is
That's
I'm
it.
looking for someone to fill a position. Don't be surprised when the enemy sends someone that quote unquote fills that position. So
Mm,
ultimately, you're getting an extended project, not a partner.
oof.
So
Come on.
now that's why you said you find yourself in these entanglements and
Yeah.
it only lasts, that's like a 6 month project, like a business project. Hey, we're going to work on this project for 6 months. And then afterwards, we're just going to leave it where it is.
Correct.
Right. So we got to be mindful as, we, as some of us are entering a dating season, we got to be careful with cuffing season because you're just cuffing someone for a season.
Exactly.
right? So again, when you're looking at a project, projects are normally seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
You typically work on projects for certain seasons.
Right.
But a partner is someone that you're building with for a lifetime.
Exactly.
So you can't build with someone for a lifetime if they're not looking to make a lifetime commitment.
Right.
Right? They're looking for, quote unquote, a contract. Cuffing season. I just want to sign on for 1 year. I just want to get paid for 1 year, so that way I could be a free agent, and then that way I can go play for somebody else next cuffing season.
Correct.
So people are applying or trying out for positions.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful, because the enemy will prey on what you are praying for, because his goal is to kill, steal, and destroy. Mm-hmm. The enemy cannot change who God has for you, but he can delay your arrival getting there by continuously allowing you to participate in cuffing season. I want a man with a beard. I want a man with nice teeth. I want a man with nice money, good credit, drive this type of car. And don't be surprised when that person shows up and you're like, oh, this is who I've been praying for. Because the enemy heard your prayers too. So the enemy is going to send somebody to you before God can lead that man to you, because God can't lead the right man to you if you're still participating in cuffing season. You're trying to cuff somebody for a season and you're praying to ask God to send you a man that you can build with for a lifetime. Those two things don't align.
No.
It's either you want to be cuffed for a season and you want to have hot girl summer, or I want to build with my partner for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So we got to be careful with this cuffing season. We got to know what cuffing season is. You got to know men and women are applying for positions. They're trying to fill position. They're not trying to be a partner. Right. I'm just trying to feel what you're looking for. You want somebody to cuddle up with, Netflix and chill, watch TV, go on dates. So that's all I'm going to do. Why would I want to commit to you for a lifetime if I could just feel the positional needs that you're looking for? So we got to be careful with this cuffing season thing, right? We got to be careful. I feel as Christians, the Bible does not talk about cuffing season. The Bible says a man should love his wife as Jesus loved the church.
Correct.
Cuffing season doesn't align with that. A woman enriching a man every day of his life does not align with cuffing season. Because a woman can't enrich my life for the rest of my life if she's only going to be there for a season.
Correct.
Get that? If she's only going to be there for a season, how can she enrich the rest of my life? Or why would she be committed to enriching me every single day when she knows, hey, I'm going to be out of here in February. Correct. Right after Valentine's Day, I'm out because it's going to start getting warm. So why would she be committed to being a Proverbs woman? And you know I'm not lying, Lauren.
No,
right?
I know you.
And why would a man say, I'm going to love this woman as Christ loved the church when I'm only going to be here for 6 months? I'm only here to cuddle up with her, being transparent, have sex,
right.
Drink, chill, laugh, get gifts, things of that nature, right? Well, I don't even got to love her as Christ loved the church. Because she's going to, if I can show her that I'm capable of filling the position that she's looking for, I'm just going to play that role. Right? It's funny because I seen a meme one time a while back was like, or somebody made a status was like, man, I don't like new relationships because, for the first 3 months, I got to act normal.
Nah.
Meaning like they got to act like something that they got to act like something that they're not for the first 3 months to reel a man in. And then afterwards, then they're going to be them true selves. How does that even look? Because they're trying to reel a man in versus getting him to see the treasure in you, because that's what Proverbs 18:22 says. He who finds a wife finds a treasure. So you don't got to fake your treasure because it's already within you.
Right.
So allow that man to see that. But is a man going to truly see your treasure in cuffing season? Oh, that's going to... Not necessarily, or he's going to see your treasure in cuffing season because you're handing it right here. You're like, hey, here's my treasure. This is, if you make the team, this is what you get.
Here go to Jersey. You in there?
Here you go to Jersey. So he's like, I'm just trying to get, and that's it, Lauren, right? I'm just trying to get the jersey.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for 6 years. I don't want to finish my career as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I just want to get the jersey.
That's it, and I'm out.
I'm out. Once I get the jersey, I get paid. I'm out. I'm gonna sign a 1-year contract. You got a lot of people out here signing 1-year contracts.
Come on.
6-month contracts.
Come on.
Because it's cuffing season. It's a season, right? Football season comes to an end. Basketball season comes to an end. Baseball season comes to an end.
The game.
So you're telling me settling, right? You're settling for having a man or a woman for one season? For one season?
Yeah.
I want someone that's committed long term. That's why I was excited as a Lakers fan about LeBron James. Because it's like, hey, LeBron James signed the contract to where it's like, I want to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers until I retire.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been upset if LeBron James said, I'm going to sign a 1-year contract with the Lakers. I'd have been worried. Like, oh, he probably want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's no commitment. There's no commitment.
Correct.
Right? But the fact that he signed a 4-year contract for X amount of money, I know that he's going to be there for at least 4 years.
Correct.
And he's nearing the end of his career. So at the end of the day, most likely he's going to retire a Los Angeles Laker.
Yeah.
But he made that commitment when he was a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to go to a team for one season.
Correct.
And that's why you see some players sign a deal for one season, then, oh, I can go somewhere else. I can go over here. I can go over here.
Mm-hmm.
So as Christians, and if you are looking to find your partner, you will not find your partner in cuffing season.
No.
They may look like it, but they're not your partner. They're applying for a position, just like a job.
Correct.
With a resume. I'm just trying to get the job.
Correct.
I don't care about long term. I don't care how long I stay here. I'm just trying to get the job for right now because it fits my needs right now. And it kind of goes into your concept of lost and found, right? I'm just going to go to the lost and find to find something that might be lost or find something that's going to comfort me for the time being. If I don't have a coat, I'm just going to find a coat. Say that one more time.
People just trying to get their first 2 weeks paycheck.
Exactly. People are just trying to get the first 2 week paycheck, right? And then they're gone, right? So some people are signing on for a short-term commitment. It reminds me of my job as a college advisor way back when we would have people that would literally try to come to school just to get a refund.
That's it. There you go.
That's it. They don't want to study business. They don't want to study, graphic design. They like, hey, I want my check. Once they send my check in the mail, I ain't going back to school because they're there. It's seasonal.
Correct.
So a partner is not seasonal. A project is seasonal because you're working on it for a certain period of time before, all right, I'm no longer working on this project or this project is finished. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes projects are finished. Hey, I just want to kick it with you from October to February. That's the deal. After that project is done. Now I'm on to the next project, which is Hot Girl Summer, whatever you want to call it, right? So I feel like if we're in this season where we're trying to find partners, we can't participate in cuffing season. Mm-hmm. That's cultural things. We cannot participate in cuffing season. If I give anybody any advice tonight.
And I think that the reason that people fall into that trap of, just kind of dealing with a temporary type person, one or two different things. Sometimes you just get tired of, giving your all to something that's broken. Does that make sense? A lot of times people do it because they're just being selfish in that moment, and they just want what they want, and then it's kind of like, all right, this was fun while it lasted. It's like taking them to Disney World, right? When you get to Disney, you think that you would never want to leave, but after you've been in the sun and stood in them lines,
right,
and you ready to go home, right? Now you'll come back the next day after you go and reprieve and rest up and take a shower and all. You don't mind coming back to it. But even that has a season which you're like, okay, I done had enough of Disney. I'm ready to go home, right? And I think that a lot, and another reason that a lot of times people deal with cuffing season is because it doesn't require commitment. It doesn't require discipline. It doesn't require see. It's a lot of free things that you can get that don't require you to pay in anything. It's a lot of things that you can get that do not require for you to pay into anything. When you're dealing with, when we're talking about something long term, that means you're talking about something that's worth the wait. That means you're going to also operate in patience as well, right? And really get to know that person. And I'll be honest, I went through a season where I felt like, God, I'm gonna just live in cuffing season because that's a whole lot easier than purpose. It just is a lot easier because you know what it is, right? You know the time frame that that this person gonna be here, and when it's gone, they gone. So what does that require? Not much. It requires you to do the fun stuff and not the work. Cause see, if we got to do this thing long term, then that means at some point, Carlton, you don't want me to get vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you scars. Like, you're going to have to see the good, bad, and ugly. You better see without my makeup on. And I don't really know how you. So it's just like when you have all of those things that you haven't worked out in yourself, a lot of people that operate in in that season, and even this season when I operated in that season, I was broke. So, you know, I understand it very, very well. Even now that I'm not operating in that season, you know, sometimes you get frustrated with dating. And I was sharing this earlier today. I was like, there's been moments I've been like, God, just run me a Stedman, or can I just have like a travel boo or something a lot easier to deal with? Because, you know, discernment is like you telling me, Lauren, we about to go run 2 miles. That means, Carlton, I first of all, I need to have been running before. That's gonna be number one. I need to be hydrated. That's gonna be number two. And like Kristen said, it dating is a struggle. It is, and so it takes preparation, right? To do that. And sometimes you just like, I don't even feel like it. So I've gone through seasons, and even now, like gone through seasons where I'm like, okay, either like how we gonna do this purpose dating thing? Like sometimes it gets so overwhelming to think about that you just be like, you know what? I just rather be by myself. Like I don't even just put me on the shelf. Leave me in the lost and found. Don't find me. Like leave me over there alone. Okay, until you are serious. Because in the culture that we're in, you know, it's so easy to just people are like buses, right? You miss one, you just catch the next one. And so I think a lot of times that's why people fall into the trap of either opening themselves up prematurely to people that are seasonal, or just settling to be a seasonal person because they are tired of the pain that they go through every time they go and open up, and then this person ghosts them, or this person isn't consistent, or this person, you know, basically gives them like PTSD, you know what I'm saying, of a relationship. And you just get tired. You just get tired. And that's why I always tell people, I'm like, vulnerability, the art, it is really an art of letting go, because that is an art, a lost art. And especially when you're dealing with a society that doesn't really require that. You know, you have people that just get with people, you know, they just date to date to date to date. And I'm like, when you take a break, like, what does being by yourself look like? You know, do you go on trips alone? You know, do you do things alone? Because like, I know for me, I do things alone. Like, it's nothing for me to, you know, travel by myself, go on vacation by myself, go to dinner by myself. I enjoy the company of me. I don't have to be entertaining other people. And honestly, I prefer, if it's not serious, not to.
because my time is so limited that I don't have time to entertain a person that I know is seasonal. Because
Right.
it's almost like a slap in God's face. He didn't gave me all of this purpose. He didn't gave me all of this favor. All of me to turn back around and be like the Israelites and fuss about when we was in Egypt, we had food and at least we knew what it was. That's a Egypt mindset, and so that's why I thought that this topic was just so important that
Mm-hmm.
we touch on and that we really go there with why do people find themselves just settling, because that's what it is, settling for something settling for Ishmael when God gave you the promise Isaac, right? He gave you the Isaac promise, but you'll go and settle for the Ishmael because it's not coming fast enough, right? And I shared this in a coaching session last night. I said, a blessing birthed prematurely is a burden.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing you want to do is be so focused on when I'm going to get into a relationship that when the relationship shows up, you're not even ready for the relationship.
Right, right.
Because again, you done participated in cuffing season. So now you're having to detox from these trash relationships that were never going to go anywhere so that you can be prepared for this new person. Because and another thing, when you're dealing with people seasonally like that, you never really get the real them. See, they can put on the facade and be like, Carlton, it's just, Carlton, I'm only texting you. And they got like 10 other people they texting. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, because of course they're just being that way in that moment with you, right? When you text them, they respond back. When you call, they answer. I saw a quote last night that said, if you really want to know if a person is truly single, call them between the hours of 10 p.m. and 3
I saw
a.m.
that.
They answer
I saw that.
and that's real, because you have a lot of people that will be, they'll play that game like, oh, I'm single, but you keep talking to them, they living with their baby mama. Baby, that's not like what? That's not like you can. This is not high school where you just like break up in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm single, but then you find out that they just separated from their spouse. No, no, baby, you still, somebody still got papers on you. That's not you not single, right? Um, and so that's another trap of the enemy. And so another thing about cuffing season is, I know you remember this song, what do the lonely do for Christmas, right? That holiday song, what do the lonely do? But they uses this season to play on people's loneliness, because you are more so in the house. It's cold outside. You know what that song say?
Yeah, yeah.
Baby, it's cold outside. You got all of these, love types. So, and then you've got social media pushing out, relationship goals and blah, 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 and all these hashtags about these pictured relationships that really aren't. And so people begin to buy into that. And they begin to buy into, well, maybe my standards are too high, Carlton. Maybe me wanting to have a man that knows how to pray is asking too much. When that became asking too much, like that, I mean, that's like washing hands after you go to the bathroom. Like, everybody knows what you're supposed to do. Like, that's not no asking too much. But we'll start to negotiate our value just so that somebody will try to show us our worth. But guys, like, I already showed you, your value. I've already put you at value. You ain't got to be out here trying to compete in the market. You really don't have to compete. And I tell women that all the time that I coach, especially single women, baby, you are favor. You are favor because God called you favor. So I ain't never seen a favor chasing a person down. And so at the end of the day, like, Ruth was found working. She wasn't paying attention. Naomi was paying attention and positioned her friend. But she herself was not spending ample time worrying about a man. She wasn't. She was working. She was doing her thing. And at the end of the day, I just believe that if a wife is favored, that means I'm gonna be a blessing to you. when you find me. So I don't have to be concerned about when he gonna come and, God, when you gonna send. I ain't gotta be worried about all that. All I have to be worried about is, am I a Proverbs 31 woman when he arrives?
Arrives.
You
Right. Right.
am I still having daddy issues that I have not addressed when he arrived? Am I still thinking that cussing folk out is okay? Am I still yelling and raising my voice to get my point across like a 2-year-old when I don't get my way? Those are not effective communications. Am I wanting to fight you when when you don't agree with me, and all of the toxic behaviors that we do and that go on in homes? So it's like, you gotta heal all of that.
Right.
I always tell people, especially in the beginning, that's the other thing about cuffing season. In the beginning, everybody's showing up with their best foot. Everybody coming with their clothes ironed to work. Just keep waiting. They're gonna start slacking, and their shirt gonna be wrinkled, and they gonna stop wearing ties and all this, get casual and all this kind of stuff. The real them will show up. Just keep waiting, you know. And at that point, you'll know what you're dealing with. But see, in cuffing season, everybody is, they're trained to be their best selves for a period. So with that being said, you fall in love and romanticize with a temporary feeling, but you're trying to put it in a permanent decision, right? And you trying to be like, oh, well, I wonder when we have kids, women, we start marrying people in our heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder, if our child gonna be tall like him. He's so sweet, girl. He's so nice. And we're not looking at any of the red flags. Like, he's so sweet, but he's so nice. But why he can't answer his phone after 8? Why is it that if you call him or he knows that you're traveling, he can't check on you and call you and say, hey, babe, did you make it safely to where you are? Oh, because you entangled. You see how that works? But you don't realize it because all the good stuff is going on in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? All the good stuff. And especially if you decide that you're going to sleep with this person early. Well, then at that point, you're very much so distracted, right? And you'll overlook things that are, you'll say that's a pink flag when God's like, that's a blaring red flag.
Red flag, right?
You know what I'm saying? The fact that when y'all go out, he got to turn his phone over all the time. Or she got to turn her phone over all the time. Or, if somebody call, they doing all this. Like, what is going? They nervous, or we can't go certain places, and stuff like that. Oh, I don't like to really go out. But the social media say you always out, so clearly you ain't scared of COVID. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of, because now you entertaining somebody, you waking up to a good morning, beautiful text. So, you getting that kind of attention, and you're completely distracted by the fact that this person is just really here to utilize you for the time being. Because the same text he sent you, he sent somebody else. The same, you know what I'm saying? The same text she sent you, she sent somebody else. So, your night may be Tuesday. That's the only night she can answer. You like, why she only answer on Tuesday night? Wednesday night, well, I was at Bible study. But I thought Bible study was a Tuesday night. People start lying. And you just like, what is going on here? Right? And so, and these are things that are really happening in our culture with dating. And, and so we tend to get lax in cuffing season, and we just kind of be like, okay, you know what? I know what this is. It's safe. We think it's safe, right? We call it safety. Why? Because we don't have to show up authentically. We can pretend Halloween around the corner. We can go and put a mask on, and it's acceptable. But we continue to wear it past the 31st. We wear it on the 1st, November 2nd, Thanksgiving.
Right.
All this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You asking questions about their family, and they up there getting unnerved, or I'm just real private. Nah, you're not real private. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just real private. No, that's not the case. Or you just had a baby, you got a newborn. Sir, how you just got a newborn and you single? Now, what how that happen? You just like what was going on with that? See, I be having questions, Carlton. Like I have a lot
Nah, that's real. Nah, that's real.
because I'll be like, well, how long was that last relationship? And then so walk me through the process, your healing process, and learn from that relationship. What are things from that relationship that you want to take into your next relationship, and what are things from that relationship you never want to see again? See, because what I'm trying to figure out is, were you present in the relationship? Like, did you learn anything in the wilderness? Because God put the Israelites in the wilderness for a reason. If he parted the Red Sea for them to just walk through easily, he could have parted the wilderness and they could have just been in the promised land just as quick. But he put you in that wilderness for what? Pruning. He had to get that attitude. He had to get you to a place of gratefulness. People don't get grateful until they have a reason to be. People don't get grateful until they starving. Until they got a reason to have to be like, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I bless you. Lord, I thank you from how far you brought me from. Yeah, but you got to go through the process for that.
Right.
And so he knew that he couldn't just take them there. And that's how we are. And so the enemy hopes in this season that we settle in covenant season and that we mishandle the promise. Settle for the Ishmael so that when Isaac comes, you won't recognize him. You won't be prepared for an Isaac.
Right.
You won't be prepared.
That's good. Not only mishandle the promise, but sometimes cuffing season makes us mishandle the process. Because every time you participate in cuffing season, that is one less season that you're not developing.
Ooh, come on. That's good.
So not only are you mishandling the promise, like you're mishandling what God promised you, because he promised you the desires of your heart.
Correct.
So the man or the woman that you're looking for, God promised that either A, he's going to lead you to that woman, or B, he's going to allow that man to find you, meaning discover unexpectedly, right? So if you mishandle the process, then God has to delay that man's arrival or delay God leading you to that woman. Because a lot of those things that you mentioned were situations where people weren't ready, right? You mentioned people being fresh out of relationships. Like you're asking about what's your healing process look like?
Yeah.
And that's like applying for a job that's like, oh, well, I don't think I'm a good fit for that job because they're asking too many questions. Right? They just want a job as far as, hey, tell us a little bit about your background. Okay, when can you start? What about your experience? Right? Just the easy questions, but people don't want to get into their healing process. So not only do we mishandle the promise, but sometimes cuffing season makes us mishandle the process.
Altogether.
Like you said, God had the Israelites in the wilderness for a reason.
Correct.
There is a process for a reason. There's a reason that Jesus went through the wilderness. There's a reason that Jesus had to endure the cross. So there is a reason for every process, and you can't skip the process.
Correct.
Jesus could not skip the cross to get to the throne.
Yeah.
Jesus had to go through, he had to carry his cross to get to the throne. So in order for you to get the desires of your heart and ultimately be prepared for the desires of your heart, you can't be wasting time in cuffing season, because that's one less season that you're really not working on yourself, because like you said, you're romanticizing and you're in an entanglement relationship, whatever, with someone, or you're texting 5 different people trying to see who is Mr. Monday, who's Mr. Tuesday, who's Wednesday, who's my weekend boo, and X, Y, and Z. And you can't, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And like she said, that's too many delays.
Yes.
There are too many things in the way. And that's why I said the enemy's goal is to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yep.
The enemy cannot take away who God has for you.
Yeah.
But he can definitely delay that man's arrival, or he can definitely delay being led to that woman, because God values you. Like you said, a woman is favored.
Yes.
Right? So God is not going to lead a man to that woman if he's not ready for that type of favor.
That part.
Or he's not going to lead a man to you and you don't even realize that's your favor.
Yeah.
Because your body language does it display that's your favor.
Correct.
Because like I said, when you're passing out your treasure and you're putting your treasure on display, it almost makes me feel like you don't even know what type of favor you possess.
Yeah.
Because you possess the type of favor that a man can see in you without you putting it on broadcast.
Correct.
You don't got to wear revealing clothing. You ain't got to be in a two-piece. You ain't got to have your breast out. You ain't got to have your butt out. You ain't got to do certain things. You don't got to brag about how much money you got. You don't got to brag about having WAP or anything along those lines, right? And I'm keeping it real.
Tonight.
Right. So you don't got to advertise having WAP. Your reason why, maybe one of the reasons, and this is something I want to suggest.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, right?
Let's discuss it.
Let's discuss it. So Cardi B made a song called WAP.
Uh-huh.
And in this song, correct me if I'm wrong, she says, I don't cook, but I don't clean, but I got that ring. So clearly, based on what I believe, this is just me breaking this song down logically.
Correct.
The reason you got the ring is because of the WAP. Because it ain't because you can cook and you can clean.
Correct.
It's because of the WAP.
Correct.
So ultimately, the only reason she got the ring is because she was passing out the treasure.
But then he got some different WAP.
He got some different that's hold on to that, right? So ultimately, you gave him something that he can get from somewhere else because the WAP is not the treasure.
That's it.
So of course, there was a reason he went and got, like you said, WAP or whatever somewhere else. Because again, that's available. That's in every store you go into. There's a bunch of stores that got t-shirts and jeans. I can go anywhere and get that, right? I can go anywhere to get a burger, fast food. There's McDonald's, there's Burger King, Wendy's, right?
Pops, all kind of stuff.
Mom and Pop, there's all kind of places, right?
Yes.
But there's not too many 5-star restaurants, or take it deeper than that. Man, when you got a woman cooking at home for you, and she know what she's doing in the kitchen, and she cook and she clean, that's the difference, right? So again, that just proves, like, a woman, you have to know that's your favor.
Yeah.
And favor is not in the WAP.
It's not.
The favor is what God placed inside of you when he made you in his image.
Yes.
But some people miss that. Why? Because we're so connected to the culture.
Yep.
And here's the thing that I want to mention. If we are not intentional about Christian principles, we will accidentally fall victim to the culture standards.
Correct.
Because the culture standards is, I don't got to cook or clean to get a ring because I got WAP.
Correct.
So that's the standards that they're living by. So I'm going to use my WAP to get a ring. I'm going to use my WAP to get what I want. But if you are rooted in the Bible, it says God will give you the desires of your heart. It doesn't say that you have to sacrifice your WAP. You don't have to sacrifice your body, because the text states in the Bible that sex is supposed to be a sacred act between a husband and a wife.
Correct.
So why would God want to make you go outside of what the Bible says to get what he promised you? Come on now.
Come on. That's the deception.
So that's the deception, right? So we don't have to do any of that.
Yes.
Right? So, but that's where a woman has to realize that I'm favored, because he who finds a wife finds favor. So the man that finds me finds favor, but a man can't find favor if a woman is not walking like she's favored. Ooh. If she's walking like she's WAP, I'm my WAP. I'm all about my WAP. I'm all about my long hair, and I'm all about my Louboutins and X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
That man ain't gonna find favor. I done found me another Cardi B, or I done found somebody to cuff.
Bill. You done found a bill.
Done found a bill, because like you said, if it goes past that 6-month project phase, you're gonna be blowing a lot of money trying to make that woman happy.
Yep.
So again, that's why every live liminal space. You gotta work instead of participating in cuffing season. I know it looks fun. Hey, I'm going on dates. You know, I got 4 or 5 guys texting me. Ha ha ha! It's so cool. I'm going to different restaurants. You know, I got this one buying me this. I got this one calling me beautiful, and you're absorbing all of this attention,
that energy,
all of that energy.
that's too
But the Bible says that a man loves his wife as Jesus loved the church.
correct.
And Jesus wasn't committed to every single part. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he was over here, over here, over here.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at his people as a people.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to be mindful of that when it comes to cuffing season. We do not, that's a cultural thing. The Bible does not say nothing about cuffing season.
No,
not at all. If you can find me, please show me, and I'll stand
we're
corrected.
open. We're open
But
to listen to that.
I'm open to listen to that.
It
Please
must
find
be
me a
right
scripture
above-
that says, right, yeah, exactly. WAP and cuffing season. If you can find that in the Bible, please show me. Like, please show me. I would compensate you real good, right? So we got to be mindful that cuffing season is a cultural standard. But like I said, if you're not intentional about Christian principles, you will accidentally live by cultural standards.
Yep.
Living based off of relationships like Cardi B and Offset. I seen somebody post when it was like Cardi B and Offset got back together because they got back together. So Offset got some WAP from somewhere else and they got back together. And I seen somebody post, you ain't got to explain yourself, sis, because we celebrate toxicity in the culture. Oh, they worked it out. They go through things, right? So you normalize toxicity.
Correct.
So we got to be mindful of that. The Bible doesn't normalize toxicity
Mm-mm.
because the Bible says bad company corrupts good character.
Come on.
So we got to be mindful of that. Like I said, God promised you the desires of your heart.
Correct.
It does not mention that you have to sacrifice anything. It doesn't mention that you have to sacrifice anything to get the desires of your heart. Now, don't get me wrong. You may have to sacrifice your desire to be a part of the culture.
Yeah.
Because you can't participate in cuffing season and develop yourself. Because sometimes people want to do that, right? Some people want to be culturally Christian. Like, I want to be a part of the culture, but and a Christian at the same time. It was funny. I seen this. I screenshot it because I want to share it tonight. I seen somebody make a post like, man, I want a romantic, hood, godly man. Where he at? So you want a romantically hood, godly man. So you want a man that's of the culture and based on Christian principles? Really? Where he at? And people out here looking for him. I want a man that's romantic, hood, and Christian. All the above.
Interesting.
Work. Very, very, very interesting. I had to screenshot the post. I had to because it was just like, this is the type of things that we see in the culture. And I could say one thing if people were joking, I could say one thing, yeah, that's a joke. Yeah. But people were actually commenting like, oh, I wonder where he is too, because I'm waiting, right?
And guess what?
So, I mean,
men go and try to be that.
Exactly. And it goes back to my first point. I'm trying to make the team. I am trying to fill a position. So if I know a woman is looking for a romantic, hoodly, godly man, then I'm going to do my best to be all three, right? I'm going to be swearing but quoting Ephesians at the same time.
All right.
Right? I'm a be romantic. I'm going to open your door, but we're going to be listening to Moneybag Yo all the way to our date. Right? I'm going to pray over our food, but I'm going to cuss while I eat. Right? So, make it make sense, y'all.
Come on, Carlton.
But this is where the cult, like I said, we cannot live based on the culture. Because the culture will have you wanting some off the wall, romantic, hoodly, godly man.
Just mix it up together.
Mix it up. Yeah, you a little bit of everything. You a little bit of everything, right? I mean, that threw me for a loop, Lauren, but we gotta be mindful of that. Another thing I want to tap into real quick is our decisions are based off of what we value.
Come on, see that.
So value. So what do you value more? You have to ask yourself this question. So what do you value more? Do you value your preference for God's plan.
Mm.
Because cuffing season means you value your preference, because I want a man right now.
Correct.
Or do you value God's plan and knowing that he who finds me finds favor?
Yeah.
What do you value more? Because you can't say, oh, I know I'm favor, but you're participating in cuffing season.
That part.
Because if you know your favor, you know that God is preparing a man just for me. Because if I know that if I find favor in a woman, then I need to be ready for that favor. So I'm not participating in cuffing season because I want to be ready for the favor that God leads me to when he leads me to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your preference? What do you value more? Do you value your own preference? I want a man for 6 months that doesn't know how to pray, or he can't answer the phone between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m.? Or do I just hold on, work on myself in this quote unquote cuffing season, and let that man find me, and I can talk to him anytime I want? But it's it's a wait. You got to be mindful.
All right.
It sometimes it is, like I said, if you participate in cuffing season, you're going to mismanage the process.
Yeah.
Because God is like, there is a process before that man is led to you.
Yeah.
There's a process before I lead you to that woman. There's a process because, again, you see in these cultural-based relationships where people are not ready, whether it's the man or the woman. Like you said, the man is not completely single. The man didn't do healing, or he's broken up with his baby's mom in his head, but they still live together. Or, you know, a woman is still connected to her baby dad, and, you know, she liked the way it feels when they make, you know, love, being transparent, right?
Correct.
So they're still connected to that. So I can't date a woman who's still thinking about how it felt when her baby dad or her and her boyfriend or last boyfriend made love. You know, the devil is a liar. So I can't get with that.
Correct.
So again, a woman has to realize that she's favored, and a man has to be ready to receive that favor, because there are times where we're not ready to receive favor, contrary to belief. Because if you don't know how to manage favor, then favor, like you said, a blessing becomes a burden. Because God can be sending you a man or a woman that is about to bless your life. But if you're not ready, that's a burden.
You know, I said a while ago, probably over a year ago, to when I discovered who I was, and realized to the right man I'm soil, but to the wrong man I'm quicksand. Because
right.
Like I personally, I'm a lot of woman, and being a lot of woman doesn't mean that I'm dramatic. It does not mean that I'm problematic. It means I can operate in and out of season. That there's a lot of nuances to me that you can't just box me in and just say, okay, Lauren is just a mother. No, I'm not just a mother. You know, when I think about, you know, ways to describe who I am, I can describe myself without telling you what I do for a living. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, and I'm very confident in who I am and who God has designed and called me to be. I'm also very aware of my areas of opportunities, and I don't pretend as if they're not there, you know?
Right.
So that for most people, that's a lot. For most men, that's a whole lot. So to the right man, I'm soil. Meaning your seed, you can grow in me. Hey, Dowaski, you can grow in me. But to the wrong man, the whole time you just complaining about, oh, why are you doing this? Now you got another business. Now you got it. Yeah. You know, I'm not a woman that can just be just placed in one place. You know, I was sharing earlier today, I said, you know, my desire is I'm going to live bi-coastal. So whoever God has for me gotta be okay with the fact that I don't desire to just own one property. I don't desire to own two properties. I desire to own like
7 properties, because depending on where I gotta be, or where God has called me to be, or whatever deal that I'm working on, I'm gonna be in that area. I might as well own something in that area, right? Because I believe in generational wealth and assets. I believe in buying money and property, and instead of us buying cars that don't appreciate. That's just me, right? So you got to be okay with catching flights, because my mantle is so big that you can't just contain me in Shreveport, Louisiana. There's a season that I'm not gonna just be in Shreveport, So you gotta kind of be able to move like that. So if you're a person that just likes that routine of, I know what's expected every single day, and this is all we're ever going to do, and you're very monotonous, I'm gonna get on your nerves. Like, we not gonna be able to work together, right? So that makes me a lot of woman. So when I came into the knowledge that the ideas, the visions, the dreams, the promises that God has given me are for ego conversations and ego mindsets, I then realized, like, nah, to the right man, he thinks, oh my God.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. Like you said, the right man, because the right man is going to see.
Correct.
Because like you said, the right man can go into a big house and be like, whoa, this is a lot of space. This is an amazing house. The wrong man is going to be like, do we really need all these rooms? And why we got, 3 rooms? Why we got 2 bathrooms? They're going to see it as a burden, right? And like you mentioned with the soil, men notice soil. A boy is just looking for a place to lay his head. He ain't think about soil, sun, no seed, anything along those lines. And if I'm lying, Lauren, tell me I'm lying, right? So again, we got to be mindful. And again, going back to, a woman has to recognize she is favor. A woman has to recognize that I am soil. I'm not quicksand.
Only to the wrong.
I'm so to the wrong man. But say it again. And that's the thing too. That's the thing as well, right? Also, a woman has to realize, because some women walk around like they are quicksand.
Because they are.
and that's another conversation for another day. So ultimately, we have to, at some point, get them to realize to stop carrying their soil as quicksand, because that's really all it really is. It's not like God gave some people quicksand and some people soil. God gave us all soil.
Is how you carry.
But it's how you carry. It's like it's mismanaging what God has given you.
Yeah.
So again, we got to be mindful of those things, right? So just different things along those lines, because the right man, and that's why you can't do that in cuffing season, because someone who is just trying to get the job might not become the CEO of your organization. He's just trying to get the job. That's all he wants. I just want a job. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. I just want a job, as a college advisor, when I talk to some people, they're like, I don't really want to go to college. I don't see myself going to college. Don't get me wrong. I do have that conversation with them to, hey, maybe you should consider college. But if they're not ready mentally, I just need a job for right now. I ain't thinking about no college. I ain't thinking about no degree. I need a job right now. And you got to be mindful that some people have that type of mentality, but that's because they're not intentional about their plan. Because if I ask them, what's your life plan? Like, what is your 5-year plan? Someone who's just looking for a job right now most likely does not have a solid 5-year plan.
No.
Unless they're like, I just need a 9 to 5 to pay, to kind of finance my lifelong plan or my 5-year plan.
All right.
But most likely it's like, I don't know, I'm just taking a day at a time. When you're not intentional, you accidentally do things. So that's why I said, if you're not intentional about dating, how you carry your soil, all of those different things, you will accidentally carry your soil like quicksand if you're not intentional about your soil.
Yeah.
If you're not intentional about carrying yourself as a woman of virtue and a woman that possesses favor, you will accidentally start passing your treasure around and advertising your treasure. And that's why people don't get a chance to know who some men and women really are.
Right.
Because like you said, some men are leading with their pockets. Some women are leading with they feel is their treasure, right? You know, their assets, right? Things that they feel that they offer.
Correct.
So I can't get to know a woman if she's leading with how good she is in bed and her credit score. And I want to know you,
Yeah.
because you can have all those things, but internally be struggling or not even healed.
Yeah.
So we got to be mindful of that. And it goes both ways, right? And also, too, like you said, men that lead with their pockets, right? You know, leading with how much money they make, what kind of car they drive. But I want to get, some women need to get to know that real person.
Yeah.
You know, are there insecurities behind your salary and your car and your condo and X, Y, and Z? Are those covering up your insecurities?
Is that your definition
So
of success?
exactly. And that's why when I talk to some people, right? You know, when I talk to some people, what's your definition of success? And I've learned over time, Lauren, that there are different definitions of success. My definition of success is impact.
Yeah.
Someone else could be, you know, I want to have a lot of material things. I remember I had said on one of the lives before where I was like, if I had the choice to impact 1 million people or be given $1 million, I would impact 1 million people. And I remember somebody was like, sorry, bro, I would take the million, because we have different definitions of success.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I can impact, if I can impact 1 million people, God will supply my needs.
Correct.
And it's funny, I heard this song. It just came to me. I've been listening to this album by KB. It's a dope album.
Mm-hmm.
And he says something. He said, I'm not worried about the Forbes list when God is my portion.
See?
So he's not worried about making the Forbes list, because that's success to some people. I want to be on the Forbes list and I want to make all this money and I want to do X, Y, and Z. But he said, I'm not worried about the Forbes list when God is my portion.
Yeah.
So I know if I'm obedient to the call and I impact 1 million people, God might bless me on the back end with 1 billion when I was about to settle for 1 million.
See?
That's a whole word right there. I'm gonna drop the cash out.
Go ahead.
But
Correct.
that's the thing about it. But that's the thing that we got to be mindful. That's why
Yeah.
I said, what do you value more? Do you value your preference? I really want a man, or I really want a woman right now, or I really want to be laid up watching Netflix. It's cold outside. I really want somebody to hold on to. I really want someone to give me a Christmas gift. That's your preference. Or do you value more
Yeah.
God's plan? Do you value God's plan of saying, hey, just hang in there for one more season? Don't waste another season in cuffing season, because every cuffing season is bringing you 1 year away from who I have for you.
Yeah.
God could have had the man that he wanted for you in 2021, but we spent from 2010 to 2020 in cuffing season. So that's 10 years. That's a 10-year delay. So that's why sometimes we have to spend 70 years in Babylon, because we done spent 10 years in cuffing season.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we really say that one more time.
Falling for the okie doke.
Falling for the okie doke. We done fell for the okie doke 10 years in a row. Now we're dating is a struggle. Dating is a struggle because we didn't do what we needed to do in the past. You know, we wasted too much time on the wrong men, cuffing the man just because he looks externally what you pray for. Like I said, the enemy preys on your prayers.
Yes.
So the enemy knows that you like men with beards or dreadlocks or muscles or nice teeth or a nice car. So you'll be surprised when you're going to the grocery store and somebody pull up next to you in a Range Rover and they got a beard. You're like, oh God, it's him. No, that's the enemy praying on what you're praying for. And if I'm lying, Lord, tell I'm lying, right? So we got to be mindful. What do we value more? Do we value our preference, the right now, or do we take more value or have more value in God's plan for us?
Yeah.
I know for me, and also too, we can ask this question: what would bring me more pain? Settling for what God does not have for me and delaying what God truly has for me, or just waiting a little bit longer for what God truly has for me? Pick a struggle to an extent.
Yeah.
Am I going to pick a permanent struggle by just settling? Or I'm going to endure a temporary struggle and get who God has for me?
But it's not really.
You got to be mindful of that.
It's really choosing a discipline.
Exactly. And that's it. That's it.
Discipline is what you commit to.
Right.
So either you're going to commit to waiting or settling. But you got to commit.
Right. And yeah, because you can't waitingly settle, right? You know what I mean?
Or
So
goodly godly. Or
exactly. So we gotta, like you said, you have to either settle or wait.
yeah.
I know settling seems comfortable, but it's only temporary comfort.
Oh, yes.
It's only temporary because that settling is not who God has for you. So at some point it's going to end.
Yeah.
So that's one more person that you have to get over. That's one more person. Oh, like you said, you romanticized and how tall our kids are going to be, and we're going to have 3 kids. And God is like, that's not even who I have for you.
That's one.
So now you got to spend another 6 months getting over that.
Oof.
Or if you don't get over that and you're jumping into the next relationship, that's again not who God has for you.
Correct.
And now you're getting to love and feel another person, and then that person leaves. And that's where trauma starts.
Yeah.
The last 3 men I dated were all duds. Partially because they were duds, but partially because you didn't give yourself time to heal and wait on who God has for you. What do you value more? Your preference? Do you value your sexual preference? I really need some, quote unquote.
Correct.
Or am I going to wait on my husband to satisfy the need in that area?
That's it.
So it's all about discipline. But what happens is the Bible teaches us about discipline. The culture is the total opposite.
Yeah, the
culture is.
the word teaches us go to the gym. The culture tell us we can just go and have surgery. It's quick.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It's expensive. It's quicker, it's faster, but it's more expensive. And
expensive, yeah.
And it's the long term, you still got to come back to maintenance it.
Right. And here's the thing about that part where it's more expensive. It's going to cost you more to settle for what God does not have for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to cost you more. So we just got to be mindful of the cost of settling. It's going to cost us time, because that's we're losing time where we could be working on ourselves and also delaying who God truly has for us.
Yeah.
It's going to cost way too much. It's going to cost way too much.
And if you've ever paid the cost for it one time, you ain't willing to pay it again. And that's the secret.
Right.
I paid the cost once. I'm too afraid to play it. I have to.
But here's the thing. Lauren. But here's the thing. There are some people, like you said, you're afraid to. You paid the cost and you got burnt once. Hey, I got to work on me. X, Y, and Z is too costly for me to settle and not get what God has for me. But there are some people that got credit cards. They're just swiping. They don't care about the cost, and that's where they find themselves in quote unquote debt. And they got to get themselves out of debt before God leads the right man to them, and vice versa. Yeah. So we got to be mindful of, because again, what we value ultimately determines our decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's my preference? What do I value more, my preference or God's plan? I have to pick in between. I have not in between, but I have to pick between the two.
Yeah.
And like I said, cuffing season does not align with God's plan, because the Bible does not talk about cuffing season. The Bible does not talk about temporary dating. The Bible doesn't even address dating. The Bible talks marriage. So again, God in the Bible, he's talking about partners, like we talked about partner versus project. The Bible talks partners.
Right.
Culture celebrates projects.
And companionship.
And like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with being a project and working on yourself to eventually become a partner. But the culture teaches us that you can stay a project and somebody's willing to work on you. And that's where I say the devil is a liar.
Correct.
Because again, we are designed to be partners. Proverbs 31 was written for a woman, was written by a woman for her son. This is what you should look for in your wife.
Yeah.
In a wife, not your boo, not your girlfriend, your wife. like you mentioned about Ruth, she was found working. She didn't seek Boaz. She was working and was noticed by Boaz. And again, Boaz realized the treasure in her.
Correct.
It didn't describe in the text what Ruth, we don't know what Ruth looked like. We don't know if she had long hair. We don't know if she had wop. We don't know if she was, a certain type of woman, right? We don't, right?
If she was thick, we don't know.
We don't know. But we know that she was a hard worker.
Yeah.
We know that she took instructions very well, because when Naomi gave her instructions, she followed them to a T.
And we knew she was loyal.
And she was loyal, right? Culture, loyalty, it all depends.
How much you got?
How much loyalty,
Yeah.
right? How much you got, right? And loyalty, I always felt I had this discussion where I'm like, loyalty for me is unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, right? And that's what I feel like loyalty, because if I'm loyal, because God is loyal to me, meaning he loves me unconditionally. I am loyal to God, meaning my love for him is unconditional.
Right.
But the culture is like, I'm loyal to you as long as X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bible also says that we should forgive as we were forgiven by God.
Right.
So don't get me wrong. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to obviously give them full access to you. Something happens to you, right? Things along those lines.
Yeah.
We are taught to forgive that person.
Right.
But it's not a forgive, but I'm not going to forget what you did. It's going to be forgive and treat you like you never did anything to me. And that's the part that we struggle with.
Yeah.
Because we feel like we have to hold some type of grudge, but God does not hold any grudge with us. As many times as we sin and we fail God, he doesn't hold us he doesn't treat us like, oh, you sinned against me. And I'm grateful that God does not treat me like somebody that sinned and fell short. So we are taught to treat people the same way. But again, that is the divide between Christ and culture.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be mindful. So if you don't even understand the level of forgiveness, God can't lead a man to you if you're not willing to forgive that man if he didn't make the right phone call, per se. You got to be willing to forgive, right? Just different things along those lines. And obviously it works the other way around. So you got to be mindful in this cuffing season. It's very tempting. It's very attractive. For women, you get the chance to talk to as many men as you want, go on dates. That somebody might get you flown out, get your hair did. You and somebody's son. Different things along those lines. Don't get me wrong, get your nails done. X, Y, Z. You get a chance to go on dates. Wear these heels that you bought. Things of that nature. A man treats all the time, right? So you're good.
We'll have to. That's a topic for another day. But I don't understand, why do men always have to treat all the time? Like, I want to treat.
I believe in that. I believe in that as well. Why? And again, it goes to culture, but it's something. But it's something that's been established by the culture. It's like if a man doesn't, especially like on a first date, it's almost like that man is crucified for not doing that. Why? It's an unwritten rule. There's a standard that has been set. Say it again.
I haven't been on that many dates,
right? But
I do. Like, I will offer. I'll just take care of it and won't say anything because I feel like you're gonna tell me that I can't do it. So then at that point, when you go to the bathroom, I just do it because I feel like we can't appreciate. I don't get that.
And that's the difference between a woman and a girl. There's a huge difference. So and that's a blessing, right? That you're willing to do that. And I feel like more women should. I don't feel like it should always be on the man. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel a woman should pay for every single date. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel that way. But a healthy balance, yeah.
It's
absolutely.
The balance. If you got it last time, then I want to get it this time.
Right.
I'll submit. Right. Let you do your thing first and leave. Cool. I ain't gonna take that from you. Right. Even if you kind of battle with the culture on it, I'll let you make it.
Right. But in cuffing season, somebody who's participating in cuffing season is trying to get all the free meals out of it. Right. You know what I mean? So and you got and you got certain men who, or maybe men that have a boy mentality, that are like, well, I'm a wine and diner just to show how much money I got. I don't want her paying for nothing. So, because I want to show her how much money I got.
Yeah.
So again, we're all trying to play a part.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all trying to play a part. You know, man is trying to show. Say it again.
Get chose.
Exactly. People are trying to get chose. And this is something I mentioned a while back on another live that I did. And I feel like men use commitment to get intimacy, and women use intimacy to get commitment from a man.
But are you really getting intimacy? I feel like you just get sex, because at the end of the
and I'm limiting it to that. Like,
Yeah,
it's not intimacy, not vulnerability as far as like what we've discussed. No, that's on a totally different level. I feel like
getting straight flesh, and that's that.
exactly. But yeah, and I'm going based off of the culture's definition of intimacy, which
Correct.
is, you know, a sexual encounter or an entanglement or X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely.
So I feel like a man is going to show or display that he's committed to you,
Correct.
one woman, just you. I'm only committed to you. I only feel you are beautiful, X, Y, and Z, because he's trying to get the jersey or trying to get what, you know, some people feel is the treasure, trying to get the WAP.
Correct.
But a woman is going to use the WAP to get that man to commit. Like, if I give him some WAP, he's going to stay.
Yeah,
like, because Cardi B said, I don't cook and I don't clean when I got that ring. So she must have done something else to get the ring. So you see what I'm saying? So,
but
the
loyalty though.
Say that one more time.
It didn't come with loyalty.
It didn't come with loyalty. And that's the thing about cuffing season. There's no, like I said, there's no loyalty. Everybody signed a 1-year contract. They're like, after this season is over, I'm out. I'm a free agent, right? I'm a free agent. I'm not re-signing with the team. No, to me, if the team is good, you know, they might sign another year contract.
Correct.
But I mean, you're going to have people that, you know, are signing 1-year contracts. I'm in and I'm out. Correct. Right? You know, I'm going to be playing for another team next year. Yeah. Right? So we just got to be mindful that when we think about cuffing season, it is one season that you're sacrificing to work on you, because God has you single for a reason. Yeah. It's not because you're so broken and you don't deserve a man. God is like, I need you to develop something that I placed in you. Yeah. Because whatever you develop within you is going to be beneficial or vital to the man that I lead to you, and vice versa. A man has to be ready for favor. Because if a man is still interested in chasing WAP, he's going to miss favor.
Yeah, he gonna settle for favorite.
Favorite. There you go.
He'll settle for favorite.
He's going to settle for his favorite, right? Versus favor.
Right.
So so that's why we gotta do the work in these seasons. So cuffing season, like I said, cultural thing. It sounds cool. It sounds trendy. You know, it's, you know, like I said, it's catchy, yeah. Right? You know, like I said, there's a benefit for both men and women of the culture.
Correct.
If you value your preference more, yeah, you know, you're gonna have a chance to talk to 5-6 different women and get a chance to choose your favorite, like you mentioned, right? Correct. You know, things of that nature, whoever you want to call beautiful that day, or whoever's available out of the 6 girls that you're texting, right? Correct. So it's cool. Like, you know, I'm a player, you know, I got 5 of them, you know, I got like Ludacris, I got different area codes, right? Correct. Things of that nature. It sounds cool. But again, that's a boy mentality, not a man mentality. Yeah. So there's a huge, huge difference in that. But we got to be careful with this cuffing season. So anyone who's out there who is single and wants to, you know, try to date around, things of that nature, I would encourage you to just work on yourself. Unless you know that man was sent to you by God. Unless you truly feel that man was sent to you by God. And you got to pray for discernment too. You got to pray for discernment. Because again, if it just looks like what you pray for, there's a chance that could be the enemy just praying on your prayers. Right. So we gotta be mindful of that. Or as a man, if you're diligently preparing for a wife and the first thing that she offers you is the treasure or the jersey, then that might not be her. Correct. I don't care how attractive she is, X, Y, and Z. We gotta be mindful. So we definitely need discernment in this season. But that's why it's important to work on you, because I'll end with this. God is not the author of confusion. So if you know, you know. If you're confused about if someone is for you or not for you, it's probably not either A, clear, or B, not for you.
Correct.
because I know, and that's how I am when I buy stuff. I know from the moment that I try it on or put it on, like, yeah, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is it exact. When it's like when I got this hat, I tried it on and I was like, oh yeah, I want this hat. You know, there was a bunch of other hats I could have chose from,
Yeah.
but it was like, no, this is it, right? So again, if you're confused about if a person is for you, obviously ask God for clarity and to
Right.
reveal that person's purpose in your life.
Right.
But confusion is a sign that it might not be for you.
Correct.
Right. Now, ultimately, if it's a fear of being vulnerable, then that's something that's totally different. That's on you.
Right. Correct.
So, because there's a difference between confusion and fear, because we often confuse the two, right? You know, where it's like, I don't know if God wants me to do this. Are you confused, or do you have fears about what God is calling you to? So we just kind of be mindful of those two things, especially when it comes to dating. Are you confused, or are you scared to be vulnerable with one more man or one more woman?
Right.
And if your answer is, I'm confused, I don't know if this is the right person, I just don't feel, I don't know, I'm just a little bit iffy, then that's some confusion. But if it's like, I do feel like he's a really nice guy, I really feel like he could be the one, I'm just afraid to be vulnerable, then you got to work that fear out with God to be vulnerable, because ultimately that may determine
Is a requirement.
or be is a requirement.
Yeah.
And also too, that vulnerability, if you feel like you can be vulnerable with that person, then I think that's a real good sign that it could be the one. But there's no vulnerability in cuffing season. The only vulnerability is, hey, we're naked and we're doing what grown-ups do.
That's it.
But there's not vulnerability of the soul and the heart and the spirit, right? So we just got to be mindful of that in this season. So, with the cuffing thing, sounds cool, but work on you. Like that's one thing I feel about 2020. Just work on you. If you're single, work on you. God will lead the right man to you, and God will lead you to the right woman.
I agree.
Just work on you.
I agree.
Just work on you. There's no need to cuff somebody for 6 months. 6 months of satisfaction. Seriously? I can't do it. I can't do it, Lauren. I couldn't do that, Lauren. I love hard. So I love somebody for 6 months. We going the distance. So at the end of the day, I can't do cuffing season. I fall in love. So
yeah,
that's just me being transparent. But
correct.
but ultimately, I don't fall in love with anybody. But at the same time, I know that I just can't be around somebody for 6 months knowing it's going to end. To me, like you said, purposeful dating. If I date, when I'm dating, hey, there's a purpose in mind, right? You know what I mean? To different things of that nature. So that would just be my advice on the cuffing season thing. Just be mindful. That's the word. Just be mindful of. Just be mindful. That's all I got right there. Is just be mindful of what you're doing.
Correct.
Are you going to participate in cuffing season, or I'm going to use the season to just work on me, and like I said, to prepare to carry my favor like favor. And to become a man that is ready to receive that favor. Because if any of those are out of alignment, then one person's not ready. Either the man is not ready to receive favor, or a woman is not carrying her favor like favor. She's carrying her soil like quicksand.
Correct. Well, look, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed being with us tonight. This was such a good topic.
It was. I told you I was excited about it.
I was ready. I'm excited and have been excited and have enjoyed our discussion. So if you have not shared our live, please share the live. Definitely leave us your comments. Thank you guys for tuning in with us as always. And if you've not gotten the book, pre-ordered it, Vulnerability, the Art of Letting Go, you're going to want to get that.
Definitely.
It's a journey. It's a journey, and I'm still on it. So if you would like to get on
the journey, yeah.
We have not taken off yet. Get off.
Right.
I see them. So feel free to hop on. So if you've not pre-ordered your copy, definitely I dropped the link already. Get in there, pre-order your copy. Carlson, thank you as always for being with me tonight.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. This is dope. Yeah. One more night in the vulnerability room.
Yes, yes. So, guys, we love you on purpose. Y'all have a great night. Thanks, Kiosha, for joining us. Y'all have a good night. Good
Thank you.
Carlton.
All right, see you, Lauren. Thanks.